Hello everybody and welcome to episode 8 of Ultimate Alchemy. I want to thank you all. We've almost hit 6,500 subscribers, so really thank you for that. And I want to mention that I have a Patreon and I have a Patreon server as well. And the Patreon server just switched to FTB Revelations like last week. So if you want to start on a fresh map, now's the time to join the Patreon to get a fresh going on that. I still have to figure out my FTB Revelations on my computer because I logged onto the server and then I get timed out in like 2 seconds and then it keeps happening. So I can't really get it working. I'm going to do another test today after this video, but yeah. Okay, so for today, I want to show you what I did with the reactor because I compacted the entire system. As you can see, no more wireless transmitters, receivers, anything. I just have the reactor redstone ports behind all of these. So behind that piston, and behind this block. So this top one does the below, and I need to set this to 10%, not 55. And then we can place the piston back and grab this. I just need to flip it that way. Okay. So that will turn it on and when it hits 10%. And this one will turn it on or off the reactor when it hits over 95%. And that is really cool. So that works. It's really nice, compact. It's just 2 pistons and it's really cool. Okay, so for today, I want to automate dirt, grass, and the mystical petals at least. So that is going to be just one like super simple system. And I possibly want to clean this up because we're not going to really be enchanting anything that much. So we can just take down these machines real fast. It's not going to be that much work, like so. And all of these bottles can just stay in the system. It is all good and done. Okay, so for the grass, we need to automate dirt. So if we have grass here, we need dirt. And we currently just have like 5,000 dirt in the system, and that is going to get used up slowly. So for the grass, we're gonna, or for the dirt, we're gonna do this, the pulp biomass and the slag. And slag we can also automate with the induction smelter doing, I believe, sand and cobblestone, making stone bricks. So we're gonna need 1 induction smelter. So let's grab that. And let's grab some kits. I have the kits as a recipe. So can you make me a stack? Nice. Okay. So then we need some augments as well. And let's make another stack of these just to have. Okay. We need carpenters, we need stills. We're going to need some more we're going to need a centrifuge, which I do have here, I think. Okay. We're going to need some flux ducts, and some drawers as well. So let's grab the basic ones, the 4s and the 2s, I think. I put the pedals in here in the drawers, but I don't think we'll keep them here. I might keep them up top. So we're gonna set this up basically. So everything else is pretty much the same. I haven't really changed anything, I don't think. These guys are weird. You can see it's facing the other way, or it's going the other way. If I flip it over to here, it does this, which is super wonky. And I don't know why it does it, but it's just facing the other way. It does the thing correctly, so it's all fine. We are still filling up this steel, I think. Or is it full? No, it's done. It's 64. Yeah, okay, so it's 256 steel. That's fine. Okay. The Empower is still where it is. I don't know if we want to put it somewhere else, but it is all good for now. Also, why are you... Okay, you were on because that was on. You shouldn't have been on. Okay. Give me back my hammer. Thank you. Did I add the thingy here? I did. I added some obstruse platforms so I can get out over there, so I can get to the back. Yeah, this should be only on when this detector is on anyway, so we don't need that redstone there. Okay, so to set the dirt up, we still have some spots. So let me figure out how big this is going to be and how big of a space we need for all the grass and petals and all that. So I'll set it up and I'll be back shortly. I managed to fit everything in this 3x5 space and it's looking pretty good. The only problem that I have with the centrifuge is that it has 9 slots. If it had 16 slots and each one dedicated for each of the pedals, then it would be fine because this would turn off and keep on running as soon as I ran out of some pedals. But I think I'll just leave these empty. So each individual slot will get 512 pedals and then this thing is going to stop. and everything else is going to backlog. It's only a stack of dirt and a stack of grass that I'm backlogging, and also I'm using the whole fermenter way of going for grass instead of the biomass because I was using wheat and I was running out of it, and I added melons and it's still processing the melons because it was making quite a bit. So I might remove the melons now that I don't need them basically. So this is going to turn off, but for example, if this is filled with, let's say everything, all of the different petals besides the white one, for example, and I run out of the white, it's not going to keep on making white because it doesn't have space to put any of the other ones. And if I decide to add a trash can here, and I was using conduits before because I could prioritize the drawer controller here than the trash can, so it would go everything to the drawer controller first and then the trash can after. So that was gonna work, but it was gonna keep the machine running indefinitely and it wouldn't turn off. I would have to configure each one of these drawers with a redstone upgrade and then do redstone things behind to turn things on and off, and it's just, I don't think I'm gonna bother that much. So what we can do is in the future, we can just turn something off by either removing the recipe, or I don't know if these guys can be controlled with levers to have an on and off thing. So if I put a lever here, oh, that's a cover. Can I put it here? Oh, that's another cover, crap. I can't really demonstrate. I can do that. Are you gonna run? Okay, it can be controlled with redstone. Okay, so if we need to, we can just turn it off by somewhere in the back. I mean, we can probably just turn off the centrifuge at some point. Just put a lever up top on there, and that should be good. Okay, so that is done. We have the petals, and that is really neat. And the explanation of the system goes, everything is hidden in the backgrounds, and it's just, we're exporting gravel and fertilizer has a crafting recipe in the storage system. So that, and then water makes water of life. Water of life gets put via flat transfer nodes that you can't see because they're on top into this tank. And then we have two stills, which are still not fast enough to overproduce liquid dirt, which is fine. So this tank is also just an intermediary empty slot because we use up the liquid dirt faster than we can build it. But it's at some point when everything fills up and everything stops, this is going to fill up. So that should be fine. So that is just water of life. Power makes liquid dirt. Liquid dirt with gravel makes dirt. And dirt with compost makes grass, and grass with centrifuge makes petals, basically. So everything is in the back. If you want to take a look, it's just exporter, export, basically. So, and then we export into a drawer controller. So we can add a external storage as well, which I totally forgot to do, which is going to mean that we are going to have grass in the system as well. Do we have any extra grass? We do not. We can just slam it here and then do 2 conduits or cables and then do priority 120. So now we can see all the petals and the grass as well. So that is really cool. Okay, so now I really want to start working on Botania because we want to have it set up automatically. We're going to need nether quartz in the future at some point, even though we have like 4,000, which is probably going to last us the entire series. But you know what? This pack is all about automating everything, so I want to automate everything, basically. So I need to get some more living wood and living rock if we want to start building this. And I don't know how far out I want to go, so I think I'll just set up the living rock and living wood automation over here, and then we're going to do some other things with Botania. But yeah, let me get my pure daisies and configure those and get them set up so we can start working on building our Botania Island thingy-bob place. Doohickey. Okay, I have a little bit of a thing set up for Botania. I decided to go, I think, 21 blocks out here of this edge, basically. So I don't know if it's going to be all matched up or if this is going to like make it odd or whatever. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, because it's just connected to this and we can shorten it up by a couple blocks if we need to. And I want to install elevators here on all 4 sides, actually. And we can just walk through here to the Botania area and don't worry about the elevator. And as well, I want to leave this side, the main side, kind of off because I have no idea what's happening with this portal or what if we're going to the end, if we're not going to the end, because most of the stuff is craftable, and I don't know what you do with these ancient barriers, if you break them or not, or what happens. So that side is off limits for any sort of building. So we're going to do Botania on this side and Thaumcraft on that side, and it should be fine. So what I have here is what you've already seen me do in Stone Block, because I like to do this way because it looks pretty, and the other way would be, I don't know, using a builder or something, but that's all the same, basically. I think I might have used the builder to place the blocks last time, actually, which is kind of easier than these phantom placers, but we'll do it with the phantom placers. And I need a phantom connector thingy. Phantom. I need this guy. We need some Eyes of Ender. 2. Okay. So we can do, all of these have a whitelist. So basically what I want to have is this for living rock, this for living wood, as you can see by the block in the middle. This one's going to be for aluminum, because that's a thing that we're going to need possibly in some quantity. So we're going to use a detector to control that as well. And also over here, if you look at the pure daisy, if we look at the recipes for these, there are a couple of recipes here in the end, which is like porous stone from Thaumcraft, the enchanted soil from Botania, and sponges, which I don't know what they're going to be used for, but I could use them for tinker stuff, I think, and to get silk touch on these tools if we wanted to. But we're going to have recipes for those, and we can dedicate, I think there's 3 recipes. We can dedicate like 2 blocks per and then leave 2 open or something. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to do those later, so this is going to stay open and not configured, and we can figure it out later. But here we can take some wood, or let's just open up this and grab some wood and stone, and we're going to put a stone down, connect it over to here, and I'm going to do that for all of these, and then I'm going to show you how I do the detection system and inserting into these and all that stuff. As you can see, the wood is set up, as you saw just there, a block breaking. And also I have the stone set up, and I just wanted to mention, you saw me clicking on the stone here on the top. If you do that, this is going to happen. If I give this guy, if I break the stone and give this guy 1 stone, it's going to place it up here. And then if I give him another one, it's going to place it in the right spot, but then you get a 2 stack of stone, which is not what I want. So you have to connect it specifically just to the destructor if you don't want to configure it, or if you configure it to the block, you need to set this guy to be placing on down. So basically it's going to place on the up, and you can then just say extract always active on this, which I have set up here, and it should work fine if I have everything configured correctly. Awesome. Okay, so how I do this is I have a detector here, 1000 living rock, and an exporter down here with redstone signals, so it's going to work. Whenever there's less than 1000, we're going to export into this mini chest. I just want to have this little chest as a buffer so we don't export a bunch of stuff. We could actually, you know what, get away with just... Yeah, it's fine to do it with an exporter. We could just get away with using a barrel here and then filtering different things. It's just... it crossed my mind and I wanted to mention it. Basically, export always active on round robin, so each one gets items and we don't fill it up just the inventory slots of the one, and then everything else is on insert, so it's gonna just slowly extract the stone as it gets it and round robin it around until everything gets full. Like also these guys are still filling up, so eventually it's gonna fill up, and once it reaches 1000, it's gonna still process like all of these, so we're gonna get like 4000 or more stone and wood, which is perfectly fine because we're gonna have plenty and we're never gonna have to worry about it again probably. So yeah. The aluminum I can set up the same way. I haven't done it yet, but I can do that in between episodes. It's just the same thing. And we have, I think I made a bunch of aluminum. We have 1000 aluminum, so it's fine. We don't need much of it, so it's all good. Basically, this is going to stay the same. And now that we have living stuff, I just basically need to wait for these to process so I can do a bit more building because we need more living rock and living wood. And I think I want to use the bricks instead of just the actual living rock because I believe we can do this. And then if we look at living, there's also mossy bricks, which are just seeds, and there's also cracked ones, which is just cobblestone, and also chiseled ones, which are those. So I want to use a few of those. We could also just work with slabs, but it's fine. We're gonna process it fast enough. For the time being, we can actually do this just to show you that is a possibility. We grab a couple of wands and then some speed upgrades, 1, 2, and then we put down a user here, and we rotate this user facing downwards and this one facing downwards. we can say use item on block, upper left slot only, give you that, upper left slot only. Like, I don't want to have this here because it's gonna, I think we're gonna run out of stone before anything. So maybe we add some speed upgrades to the exporters, but you can see the game framing up quite a bit as soon as I started doing this because it's doing all of the conversions super fast. But I might just have these on for just a moment, just so we get a nice boost of living rock and living wood. I'll leave it for maybe until we get 200, and then I'll do some more building and change these for bricks and stuff. So yeah, I have quickly set up back our old mana production. I just, instead of using a hopper, I'm using an exporter controlled by only work without redstone signal. So this torch only turns off when there's no charcoal there, and that then exports 2 items the same way that a hopper did, and it makes mana very slowly because it's endoflames. And I also made the endoflames floating as well as the pure daisies as I had before. And if you don't know how to make those, if we look at the daisy, the floating one, you just need a floating flower of any type, and the flowers you can get by making floral fertilizer and use that on a grass block or grass patch, and then you break the flowers with your hand, and the pasture seeds is just grass in a mana pool, and that is pretty much it. You just combine the flower with the other flower basically. So this is kind of compacted and all the same. I also made a runic altar, and to continue on here, if we look at runes, for the water rune, no problem. We can get everything. We have redstone or glowstone to make the mana powder, that's fine. For the rune of fire, netherwort, we can make with blaze rod on an alchemy catalyst. That's fine. Actually, no, that isn't fine because we can't make it blaze rods because there's no recipe for this unless Thaumcraft. So we need the nether meat, and the nether meat is protein soup with netherrack, and that needs to be set up. So the protein soup is just, I think, biomash. If I recall correctly, yeah, it's biomash in a squeezer. So we can set that up upstairs. And also the rune of earth requires a mushroom, which again requires the protein soup to make mushroom stew with mycelium. And rune of air, we have everything. Rune of spring, we have everything. Rune of the rune of autumn, we need spider eyes, which is Thaumcraft, so we'll get there eventually. I don't think we're gonna need it for what I want. Rune of summer, we can get everything. Rune of winter, we can make cake. We have wheat, we have sugar. Eggs are going to be a bit different. We're going to need egg yolk, which is protein soup and milk in a smeltery. So that is fine. That is doable. We can get the milk, I think, as well with more protein soup. So protein soup is basically what we need to automate. And then the rune of mana is fine. Rune of lust is all of the previous runes, and that should be all that we need. So, okay. For the first part, we need mycelium. Well, that's not necessarily the first part, but if I toss some wheat in here, you can see we already have some mycelium. It processes the wheat into moldy wheat, and after it finishes, the moldy wheat turns into decaying wheat, and then the decaying wheat turns into mulch, so it goes into like a triple process to make mycelium. So I'll just toss a bit more wheat. Let's say another couple of stacks. We're going to toss that in here, and that's going to process into more mycelium. I'm just going to grab this 30 out, and I don't know if it's going to make more than 30, but we'll see. I'll just come pick it up when I need to. So that is nice. And for the protein soup, we need a squeezer. So squeeze, I said. Squeezer. That should be simple enough. We need another piston. Okay. It's not a pit. Okay. Apparently didn't register a piston. Or maybe it's making pistons to make... Yeah, it's making pistons to make the ender shards, I believe. Because we might be low on those because I used up some ender pearls. Yep. Okay. So squeezer. Let's go upstairs somewhere. I want to go up that elevator, but it's not set up yet. The one thing that I have a problem with, I assume it's these machines because they're not full blocks. We get some lighting issues because I installed Optifine and we didn't have those before, and also these machines don't have them. And the problem are the covers. So I don't know if I want to just use something else. And I tried even covering the back sides of these, and it just doesn't help. It's like these are not considered solid blocks, so they transmit light. So it's fine. I think once we get the protein soup, we only need for netherwort. We can grow it once we get it. And I think we don't need to set this up very permanently, because also eggs, we can make chickens. Out of the eggs, they can hatch. I saw that in another person's video. So once we hatch the eggs, we can we can make it into, or we're gonna need it for dragon eggs, but yeah, we can make chickens and they'll lay eggs for us. So that should be good. So you needed what? Biomash, right? I think I have that on an autocraft. I do not, but I can toss you biomash. Is that all you need? You need power. I have a flux point. Okay. Okay, that's doing its thing. Let me go make a recipe for biomash real fast. I love how I go the long way around because I don't look at the floor. So biomash is any... Oh yeah, that's a knife. And this has a crafting recipe, so we're gonna... Let's teach it the knife first. So knife. We need the knife handle and the knife head. I hope it doesn't, again, use up a bunch of stuff. Well, you know what? Before we do any of that, I'm gonna leave the things. I think it's... We can do like... can I do these carrots? Are these edible? Do you work with biomash? It does work with biomash. Awesome. So, or eggplants as well. We have those. Those do not work. Okay, so we can do the carrots. That's fine. I have a bunch of these from before. So we can just turn those more into biomash. Wonderful. And go back to our Botania place, which is, I hope, over... It's on the other side. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Okay. So make me all of the stuff. It's making all the protein soup. And then we can take the protein soup. I believe it's a fermenter. Yeah. Okay, I have those, I believe. Fermenter. Yeah. Let me put them just like this. I think they need power. I wanted to put you on top here. Like so. And you need protein soup, and then it needs fertilizer and the stuff that we need. So yeah, let me make a couple of these liquids, and I'll possibly just toss them in a tank or just specifically make the item that we need. Okay, I made a bit of protein soup. It is all in the 3 fermenters. They all have fertilizer in them. So I made some liquid chorus, I made some nether meat, I made some mushroom stew, and also some milk. And we're gonna do the corresponding recipes that we need. I believe it's gonna be seeds with the mushroom stew here to make us the mushrooms. And now we can go toss the mushroom. Actually, I'll wait on that. We can go toss it up top in the phytogenic insulators. But the liquid chorus, I believe, needs to go... if we look in here, liquid chorus, can I fluid transpose of this? I can. I need just a dandelion, or I'll just do a couple because we have it here. It says I could do a dandelion. Fluid transposer. It says dandelion, liquid chorus. Fluid transposer fill. Rose or Poppy, will you work? Apparently not. Okay, so that is weird. Okay, let us try. Can I push this out into a tank? Or just get a tank? One of these guys. Okay. So we empty it out, and we're gonna use the casting table if we can. And then the nether meat is also a fluid transposer over seeds to get the nether wart. And I can't insert it. Oh, because it's possibly in the wrong mode? Okay. That, couple of seeds. Okay, we get nether wart. Wonderful. And let's get a casting table and put down a dandelion. And then do this tank, and we can set this to output. Haha, that works. That's a huge chorus flower. Okay, and then another dandelion. Awesome. Okay, so that is most of what we need. We might need a bunch of milk for making eggs. I was making milk in that one. But I believe milk was in a smeltery liquid milk with protein soup. Okay, so we need... let's do 4 buckets of protein soup. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go up to our smeltery here, and we can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that should make us egg yolk. And how do we pour out egg yolk? So egg yolk. You pour it in a pan cast. Do I have a pan cast? I do not. We need a little bit of gold. 1, 2. You do you. And let's go make a pan pattern. Or some stone. Pan. Okay. Back up top. Do the smeltery, I said. Let's put the pan down. The gold should be almost melted. There we go. And we can just speedy up the process of that. Okay, we're gonna take this and do some conduit and chest, because this might take a moment and I don't know how many eggs this is gonna make. So we're gonna put a chest over here. Let's say conduit, extract, whoops, insert, and then just a conduit here saying extract. So that should make us the eggs. I don't know how many it's gonna make. Looks like a few. So we're gonna leave that be, and I'm gonna spawn in some chickens later. But as for the Fido stuff, we can add it to the machines over here. The melons we're not gonna keep, so we're gonna sort that out later. But we can do netherwort, which is only gonna make netherwort in 1 slot. But we can leave the double drawers. It's fine. Or we can change them to single ones. But we'll see. The chorus plant. I don't know if this is gonna. I mean, this is not gonna make. Any of these don't make the seeds, so we don't really need to keep the seeds in there. But this is gonna make chorus fruit, so we can do that and keep just the 1 flower there for future needs. Okay. What else did we need to grow? Mushrooms. So we're gonna put a mushroom here. I'm gonna give you that. It should do your thing, and we can move the drawers around if we need to and change it for different things. But we can do this, this, and this, and then go into the back. Yeah, let me move this around and make it look pretty, actually. Okay, I tossed the eggs down, and we have the chickens here now, and I also made a vacuumulator, and it's really funny, the flavor text. Yes, this block sucks. It does suck. A lot of eggs, basically. So I have a drawer up here. It's currently doesn't have anything inside of it, but as soon as one chicken, I can't speak anymore, as soon as one chicken pops out an egg, it's gonna go in there, and it should be fine. So over here by the fluxo thingies, if I can find them over here, we now have mushrooms and netherwort. They're set for 1024 on each, and also these guys are set for 1024 on each, or on the chorus fruit. And the chorus fruit we can use to make popped chorus fruit, and then the popped chorus we can fluid transpose back into liquid chorus, because we're gonna need liquid chorus to make the crystallized chorus, which is gonna be then used to make these chunks, which needs to make the logic directors, which these need to be made into a dragon eye as well. So we can make those in the future, and also use liquid chorus to make dragon's breath, which we're gonna need in the future as well. So that is really cool. And now we have the mushrooms and the netherworts for all of the runes. So let me make a bunch of them. I'm also gonna possibly save some of this protein soup. I had that tank somewhere, right? Tank. And I can toss you possibly here, and you make me the protein soup in here. Okay. Yeah, let me make a bunch of the runes, and we can then make the terrestrial agglomeration plate and get some terrasteel going. I have already crafted the terrestrial agglomeration plate. I just wanted to show you a little bit of a bug with refined storage, I assume. But if I craft this, and if I look at runes, we have 19 of each, and I actually craft one of these. But if I clear the crafting window, we're back to 20 runes. So that is really weird and wonky, and it doubles the runes, basically. I don't know if it doubles our mana steel. It does, actually. And I don't know if that's just with this recipe. Like, what if we craft something else? Let's do a fluid transposer, right? We have everything, we don't. So let's look at, let's say, the reception coil, right? We have one in the system. If we do this, yeah, that totally doubles everything. That's so weird and buggy. Okay, So that's a cheat. That's basically cheating. But I won't be using this for anything to double anything. I was just testing out the runes, and we have 20 of them now because I was testing it out. I originally made 8 runes of each, but that is okay. So with the terrestrial agglomeration plate, we can take 1 mana steel, 1 mana pearl, and 1 diamond, which we can toss onto a mana pool. I also added some mechanical users with wands because I ran out of mana and I wanted it to just get faster and not wait that long. So we have users with wands and 4 speed upgrades, and it makes mana super fast. But we take all of these 3 and we can toss them over here to make Terra Steel. And we need Terra Steel to make, if we look at Terra Steel and the uses of nuggets, we need them to make the Natura pylons and the Elven Gateway core. So the Natura pylons each require 3 nuggets, and this is 3 nuggets, so we need a total of a singular ingot of Terra Steel. So that will be cool once it completes. And everything else for Botania we're going to do in the next episode. Well, not necessarily everything else, but the continuation of this platform and building, and we're going to tear this down and make better mana production. But yeah, we have Terra Steel now. We can get to the Elven Gateway core, and in between episodes, I'm probably going to not stream. I don't know how I'll get to a stream today, if I will get to a stream. We'll see how I'll be for time. But if the stream is going to be earlier, if it's going to happen at all, basically, is what I want to say. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. I am hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. Also, consider subscribing to see new videos, and also support me on Patreon if you want to give a little bit more. And the Patreon server just restarted, as I stated, I think in the beginning of the video. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye.